Welcome David Shen with Why I Am Here. Why I Am Here, David Shen.
Alright, thank you Keith. Ladies and gentlemen, members and guests, yes. Now tonight I have the pleasure of giving you guys my icebreaker, my first speech. Now, as I was preparing for this speech, I realized, hey, this is probably going to be the hardest speech out of all of them. Not because this is my first speech, because I've spoken in front of a crowd before, and most of the time longer than 6 minutes. But because, I have to talk about myself. Now, how many people here believe that sometimes it can be the hardest thing to talk about yourself? Sometimes, yeah. And how many people here have ever been to a party or a function where you meet someone and they're just talking about themselves? Like you have a conversation with them, and every time you say something, they bring it back on themselves? How annoying is that, right? So tonight, I don't just want to give you guys a bunch of facts about myself. That would be boring. Instead, I want to connect with you guys and engage with you guys a little bit, and because that's what creates a human connection, isn't it? It's engagement. Okay. So, how many people here have ever made a mistake? How many people here have ever made a decision where you thought later on that, hey, it probably wasn't the best decision at all? How many people have done that? Okay, I think we all have, right? So back many years ago, when I wasn't even 18 years old, when I was a stupid little kid, I made a decision that I wasn't so proud of, that I wish nobody knew about me, that I just don't want to tell people. It's not something that, I want the world to know. You see, back in late 2003, in a moment of youthful indiscretion, I decided to enroll in university. I decided to enroll in the school of physiotherapy, so to become a physiotherapist. I was being a stupid kid, so I thought that was the best thing for me to do. And what happened, as it turned out, is that it wasn't as sexy as I thought it would be. The glitz and the glamour just wasn't there. And as you can probably imagine, I didn't do very well. And to put it mildly, I did terribly. In fact, I graduated in the part of my physiotherapy school that made the top 95% possible. When I did graduate, I realized there was actually one other person underneath me on the Dean's Honours list. Now, I was just shocked. I thought that was going to be impossible. And so I graduated, but, I can be proud to say that I'd never worked a day as a physiotherapist when I graduated. But what was I going to do? I was a 22-year-old new grad. I didn't want a full-time job. I didn't want to go back to studying again, because that was just a handful. But I was broke. I had to pay food, bills, and rent, and all the other things, and I was broke. In fact, I was so broke that I couldn't afford any food in the last year of my uni. I lost 15 kilograms, true story, I lost 15 kilograms in the last year. The only reason I survived was because of the free biscuits at the hospitals I worked at as a physiotherapy student. That was the only reason that I'm here today. So what was I going to do? I thought about it. I thought, I'm motivated, I'm hardworking, I'm fairly intelligent, I think. So, oh yes, of course, I'm going to start my own business. What 22-year-old wouldn't think of that? You think of the financial freedom, right? So, with pride, for the rest of my life, with pride, I can say that without any external help, without any outside assistance, I successfully managed to take that business and run it into the ground like it was a walk in the park. I think I was born to do it. But no, seriously, I was devastated. I thought, God, why couldn't I make that work? Did I not have enough capital? Did I not have the right people? Or, were the market conditions wrong? In fact, it got to a point where something dawned on me, and it was none of that. None of that. It was in fact that I didn't have a proper education. I didn't know anything. I didn't know the first thing about business. And so that's why it didn't even take off before it just went straight down into the basement. And, education is something that is absolutely necessary if you want the solutions, if you want the answers, if you want to succeed in life. But the thing is, an education, a proper education, isn't always convenient, it's not always cheap, and it's not always easy to swallow, but it's necessary. So, this is why I'm here at Toastmasters. I want a proper education in this field of public speaking. Because here's the thing, if I want to share my message with the world, I better have the skills and the tools to do so, right? So, I just said, oh, damn. So I look forward to coming back on stage again and sharing some more of my stories. And I would love to have any feedback that you guys would have. And that is the key from yourself.